Our story with Ren begins when he is sent off from the champions team. Captain Arius tells him, "You've come to an end with us, and we no longer need you in the team." Ren replies, "And why? What did I do until I was fired?" One girl replies, "Because you didn't do anything in the first place. Being in the team makes no difference between your absence. I said it before, we don't need a monster Tamer in our team. Now, leave immediately." Ren hears their words in the midst of grief, takes off his team suit, and leaves while hearing their sarcastic laughter behind him. After that, Ren decides to take a break to think about what to do with his life, especially after losing the only job that provided him with shelter. While he is sitting, some children who like to play with him come to him and ask, "When will you go on your new task?" The children ask him to make them his usual offer, and Ren agrees without hesitation, and then uses his power on a flying eagle, controlling it and making it say hello to them. Children are impressed and admired. "We'll be monster tamers like you when we grow up." Ren is happy with their words, but one child says, "I'm going to be an adventurer when I grow up." Ren's idea interests Ren, and he decides to head to the guild to register as an adventurer. When he arrives, the employee there tells him, "You must pass a test to get an adventurer's license, which is to kill 10 ogres and collect 10 medicinal herbs." Ren immediately agrees and sets off to take the test. When he reaches the ogres, he discovers that they are weak and easy to kill, so he collects their magic crystals and gets the desired herbs. It seems that things are going well, but suddenly, a girl's screams are heard from the depths of the forest. He throws everything in his hand and rushes towards the source of the sound. There, he finds a huge tiger attacking a girl and almost devouring her. Ren pounces on the tiger with all his might, but is shocked when his knife breaks. The tiger gets angry, leaving the girl heading towards Ren to kill him first. Ren smiles despite the situation, saying to himself, "It's okay. The important thing is that the girl can escape safely." But surprise happens. The girl does not run away. On the contrary, she uses her power, flying through the air and kicking him with an overwhelming force that completely breaks his bones. Ren is stunned. "Where did you get all this power from?" He looks more closely at it to realize its truth. It belongs to one of the 4 most powerful rare species in the world, the cat spirit. But before he can comprehend, the tiger disappears, and the girl falls to the ground unconscious in front of him. Ren runs to her and asks, "Are you okay? Hungry?" Ren is surprised, but takes out the food he has and gives it to her. The girl eats happily, then introduces herself saying, "My name is Kennedy." Ren asks her, "What brings you here?" "Our species is very small, so we live in the mountains alone, but life there was very boring. So I left for my own adventures, and by chance I met you here. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you were doing." Ren tells her everything he's been through, and how he was kicked off from the champions team. Kennedy gets very angry and curses the team, saying, "These traitors, how dare they do that to you?" Seeing her anger for him, Ren feels happy and thanks her, but she surprises him with an unexpected request. "I want you to tame me." Ren is stunned. "How can I tame you? You're a rare species. I don't think my strength will allow that." But Kennedy smiles and says, "The first time I saw you, I felt chills running through my body. You are so strong and you will be able to tame me." Ren thinks a little, and then says, "If you can tame her, she'll be a great help to me, but I don't want to take advantage of her. I just want her to be by my side." Ren cuts his finger and releases his power to activate the dressage contract, and Kennedy responds, and so they are contracted. She looks at him and says, "Now we're connected forever." Ren is thrilled, shakes hands with her excitedly, and that's where their adventures together begin. Ren returns to the Union and hands the employee the required materials. She congratulates him, saying, "I passed the test. Congratulations, you became an official adventurer." Ren is thrilled and receives the reward. When he tells Kennedy, she is thrilled that he is finally an adventurer. Suddenly, a Union member approaches Kennedy, trying to talk to her, but she ignores him. Ren intervenes to defend her, but the man replies sarcastically, "You have nothing to do with this." Kennedy gets angry, saying, "Don't insult Ren. We're on the same team, by the way." The man laughs sarcastically. "You are with this weak?" Kennedy responds firmly, "He's much stronger than you." The man smiles maliciously and says, "If he is, let him perish me. And if he wins over me, I will shut up. But if he loses, I will have to take you from him by force." Ren gets very angry and thinks, "I don't care if someone insults me, but I won't let anyone insult my friends." He grabs the man's hand and the confrontation begins. In less than a second, Ren defeats him and breaks his arm. And here, a new reality unfolds. After signing Kennedy, Ren has just as much energy as hers. The union employee comes and apologizes for what happened and even tells them that the union is considering revoking that man's license because of his actions. Ren thanks her, then sets off with Kennedy on new missions. But during a mission, they hear screams coming from the forest. They hide to watch what's happening, only to find a huge gang attacking an old merchant and about to kill him. Kennedy gets to know the gang and warns Ren, they're so dangerous. But Ren smiles confidently and says, but I want to save him. Kennedy replies, okay, let's pounce on them together. Kennedy sets out to protect the old man, while Ren pounces on the gang, strikes hard, and no one can stop him. When Kennedy was watching Ren, she couldn't take her eyes off him, wondering, why is my heart beating so fast? Her face was red, and she seemed to be starting to love him. Meanwhile, Ren was killing the gang members one by one, and then he went towards her, found her face red, and asked her why. The girl was embarrassed and hesitantly replied, nothing, this, and then asked him about the secret of his strength and how he managed to defeat all of these. He replied, I'm a monster tamer, so I had to learn to fight against any dangerous monsters that might come my way. Kennedy nodded. Well, I get it. Then, they asked the old man why he was traveling alone, even though the place was full of thieves, and he told them that he had hired 3 men to protect him. But they fled as soon as the gang attacked them. Ren tried to console him, saying, it's okay, it happened. But the old man warned them, you have to get out of here as soon as possible. This gang is big, and if you know what you have done, they will not leave you alive. Ren replied confidently, so we have to eliminate them before they even think about going after us. Kennedy looked at Ren as in amazement and said, but there are over 100 people. How are we going to defeat them alone? Ren smiled. Don't worry, I have a plan. Indeed, Ren and Kennedy went to the gang's hideout and waited there. Ren had used a certain animal to be able to find out the location of the enemies. Then he turned to Kennedy and told her, go back to the city and tell the knights to come and collect the bodies. Kennedy was surprised by his overconfidence and asked, but watch out, don't do anything that might get you hurt. And he replied with a reassuring smile, don't worry, they won't be able to hurt me. Next, take out a trained insect, which can immobilize the person it stings for 12 hours. The insect summoned its peers, while it left as a club for the city to carry out their plan. Elsewhere, it was 3 gang members who fled, including 2 from the hero squad that had previously expelled Ren. One of the girls in the band got angry at her 3rd colleague and asked him sharply, how did you not comb the area well? How do you think a tamer of only 1 squirrel can survive in a forest like this? You had to tame at least 10. The young man replied in astonishment, how can I tame 10 monsters? That's impossible. The girl was shocked and said, you're lying, but suddenly remembered how Ren was taming 20 animals at once and easily controlling them, and she fell silent. Then she threatened her colleague, saying, you are in charge of this task, and if you fail, I will get rid of you myself. At this time, Ren was not taming just 1 monster, but controlling 100 monsters at once. He ordered them to attack the gang, and all their members fell to the ground paralyzed and unable to move. Kennedy arrived with a group of men who began to gather the gang members to put them in jail. But suddenly, everyone heard the sound of a huge monster approaching, breaking everything in its way, and then began to attack them fiercely. Ren, however, did not back down, but confronted him with a heavy blow that struck him. As a club, she fought a monster and managed to eliminate him. However, the numbers began to grow, and the situation seemed to be trapped. Ren shouted at everyone, get out of the cave immediately! We will eliminate the monsters ourselves. People hesitated at first, but eventually agreed and left the cave. Ren and Nady started fighting bravely, striking left and right until they were able to eliminate all the monsters. People outside were worried, fearing that something had happened to them, but soon they came out of the cave unscathed, and everyone rejoiced in their victory. Ren stood contemplating the scene and said to himself, just 2 days ago, I was jobless and outcast, and no one cared about me. Now everyone is rallying around me, celebrating my achievement. All thanks to you as a club, thank you for everything. Kennedy was very happy with his words, and said to him with a smile, you're welcome. So, the day ended, and they returned to the city where Ren received his reward and rented a place to sleep. When they arrived at the hostel, the hotelier told them that there was only 1 room available. Kennedy had to agree to take it, while Ren was embarrassed to share the room with her, so he packed up his things while they went out to sleep outside. But suddenly, Kennedy grabbed his hand and asked, where are you going? Stay here. Ren looked at her hesitantly and said, it's not right to sleep in the same room. You're a girl, I'm a guy, and you've only known me for 1 day. You can't trust me so quickly. Kennedy smiled and said, I trust you, because I felt like you were a good person, like me. I'm not like others trying to exploit me. Then you are my master, and I cannot let you sleep outside. Her words persuaded him to stay, but she asked him to turn his face when she changed her clothes, and he replied with a laugh, I'll close my eyes, don't worry. Then, Ren lay down to sleep, while she stayed awake as